What's going on YouTube? Um, yeah, man, I want to start something new. I don't think it's been done before, so yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? But if it has, it has. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I want to document my training journey from I work a job right now. Before I get to that, little information on me so you know where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? I'm Travis. You know what I'm saying? Call me Trav. Um, I'm an option swing trader, and I currently work. I don't say what job I work at, but currently work in a factory, you know what I'm saying, like many of y'all probably do, you know what I mean? And I want to document my journey to not only eventually becoming a successful option swing trader, but just growth in general. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, spiritually, you know what I mean? So I just want to document all that, and some people might get what's the word? Some people might get knowledge from this video. Some people might find this video informative. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? People watching, y'all might have something I gotta tell me that I may need to fix, or something you feel I may need to know. You know what I'm saying? If you do, you know what I'm saying, just leave that in the comments. I look at it, acknowledge it. And if you have a question, leave that in the comments as well. I'll do my best to answer. You know, yeah, man. So, but this is mainly just documenting my progress. Like, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily trying to teach. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily trying to teach anybody really, because like I said, I'm on this journey. So I kind of feel like I'm only qualified to teach what I know, not the entire thing. So you wouldn't be getting the whole entire thing if I just taught you. You know what I'm saying? So this is like y'all are on the learning journey with me. So whatever I learn, I'll bring it here, and y'all will know what I learned, or how I you know what I'm saying, structure. Um, yeah, man. Basically, to start it off, uh, as you can see, these are notes that I've um brought together and trying to form a program, like like some structure, and learning how to scan for stocks, right? So these notes, everything you see here, right? Scroll down, everything you see here is information gathered from different, creators, YouTubers, uh, traders, professional traders, you know, consistently profitable traders. But I wouldn't say from gathered from different traders. I'd say it's mainly like probably about three traders, just gathering from them, and pretty, they all pretty much trade. They all pretty much trade around the same. So it's not just I'm gathering completely different information from this person, and that person, right? So, but yeah, this is I just want to show y'all, what I've come up with. You know what I'm saying? I love feedback. You know what I mean? But okay, about learning how to scan. So to break everything down, um, we're gonna start about right here, doing a full scan. Because you have to. From what I've learned, you gotta trade the right stocks. You can't just. We can obviously do what you want, but the probabilities go more in your favor if you trade the correct stocks, right? So from the knowledge I've gotten, this is like the program that I put together, kind of. Yeah, the program I put together, kind of. You know what I mean? To scan for stocks, do like a full scan. You know what I'm saying? Um, but before we get to that, actually, gonna go up here, scroll up here, and talk about a few things, right? TML, true market leaders. You know what I'm saying? And what a true market leader is, I have it right here. That's a stock significantly outperforming both its sector and its market. You know, it's sector and the market, right? So a good way to compare that, you know what I'm saying, from what I've learned, um, would be using the arrow to compare the stock to its ETF and the market. And how you do that is on TradingView, by the way, right? Let's say something like this, right? Let's say what's okay, what would be a leading what would be a leading stock here. We'll just try and find one real quick. We'll say we'll just say software. Yeah, we'll just say software, right? So this is the sector or ETF, which is a ETF is basically a group of stocks. So that makes up the sector. If the sector is trending, then most likely the most if the ETF is trending, most likely the whole sector is trending. But as you can see, ETF is like on the ETF for software is doing a pretty big pullback. And as you can see, the whole sector seems to be doing it. Could you have a couple like this, but this may not be good a good example. Um, we'll say we'll say ARM, right? Okay, this move right here, ARM is a semiconductor. So if I scroll down, yes, a chip. ARM is a semiconductor, right? In the semiconductor sector, and the theme is chips, right? So if we look at the ETF SMH, which is with the ETF, which is SMH. If we start from what day is this? Tuesday 19th, all the way up here. That's 107% move, right? If we go to the ETF, but let me make sure Tuesday 19th. Okay, cool. Tuesday 19th, right from right here. This is only a 23% move. And this should really be up here since it's the ATF. But this is only a 23% move compared to ARM, which is a 107% move. And when you compare it to the market, Tuesday 19, about right there, 6% move. That's what I mean by a true market leader. You can see that it's outperforming the market and it's outperforming its sector or outperforming its ETF. So that's a true market leader within the sector, right? So, okay. Now, how to know what stocks are in ETFs or what are the top holdings for the ETF? So you get a gist of what what type of stocks are in this ETF. And when I say ETF right now, I'll actually change it to macro uh, macro ETFs. So you know I'm talking about really the indexes, right? The indexes. But you search the ETF or the index, right? You put holdings. So say QQQ holdings and go to try to find Yahoo. Okay, here we go. And you can see QQQ is a tech ETF. So if QQQ is down, there's a good percent, there's a high percentage that sectors like semiconductors, software, tech stocks like that, just tech stocks will be down, right? And if we go back, uh, wait, that's how you find um, what type of stocks are in these ETFs. But I have a list right here, right? You can write this down if you want. Like I said, this is just for documentary purposes. I'm not, if you learn something from it, that's good. But like I said, just for documentary purposes, if you want to copy it, you can. But the Nasdaq, which is QQQ, is tech stocks. They're tech stocks. The SPY, which is the S&P 500, is tech stocks as well, but it's a mix of everything. And from the knowledge that I've gained and from what I've learned from successful, consistently profitable swing traders and just traders in general, the S&P 500 is probably one of the best ways to look at the overall market. One of the best ways to look at the overall market. That's what I've learned from from other successful traders. And the Dow Jones, DIA, are defensive stocks like healthcare, banks, finance, industrial stocks like those. You know what I'm saying? Everything I'm teach, everything not teach, everything I'm showing here is what I've learned from. What I'm saying? Successful, creditable, consistently profitable swing traders, option swing traders specifically. So if you trade anything else, like Forex or something, or futures, maybe, I'm saying this may help with futures because it is dealing with indexes right here, right now. But my main thing is stocks. So if you trade shares, leverage shares, options, um, I guess this will be good for you if you're just starting out learning. But the Russell 2000, which is IWM, trades small cap stocks, right? And what small cap stocks are stocks with low market cap or with small market cap. I have up here a number I like to keep it between is okay. You can't see this, but I have here small caps, anything 2 billion, anything with a 2 billion market cap and lower is a small cap. Um, Anything higher than 2 billion goes from mid cap to large cap. Right, so I guess mid cap, which is between 2 billion to 10 billion, could also, I guess, be small caps as well. But just to show you some small caps, this right here, Clove, will be a small cap. 2.7 billion market cap. And a good key takeaway to know if a stock is a small cap, you can look at market cap or just look at the price that it's trading at, $5.14, right? Before it broke out, right here was at $3.95. Another small cap. I Would this be a small cap? Yeah, this is another small cap. I guess this will be another small cap too, or it'd be a mid cap. Yeah, it'd be a mid cap. Um, what is this? Guess there's another small cap as well. This is not a small cap. But yeah, those are examples of small caps. Um, Now tracking, right? Forgive me, this whole thing is all over the place. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. So that's why I have it like this. It makes sense to me. Like I said, I'm not trying to teach anybody right now. Like I'm just learning myself. I'm learning myself. So if you're learning, we in the same shoes. You know, like I said, that's why I said if you have any questions, just let me know. But tracking rotation, right? What rotation, a good example of rotation is this right here. Let's say a sector or ETF, right? Say a sector makes a strong move up, right? And I can give you a visual. Um, Boom. Let's say a sector makes a strong move up, right? Um, Strong move up. It's gonna have to cool down, right? It's gonna have to cool down. Now, when this move made a strong move up, you're gonna have this move, and you're gonna have another sector. We're gonna make this red. You're gonna have another sector. It's probably too dark. I'll make it a little brighter. Boom. You're gonna have another sector going down, right? In this sector, money is rotating in. It's up right now. Now, stocks don't just go up. You know what I'm saying? There, as you can see here, I tried to replicate. It's pullbacks, right? But sometimes it needs a bigger pullback to cool off. And may need to, and then consolidate for a little bit. Bam. But while it's pulling back and consolidating, this move right here, which has been kind of consolidating, right, is going to start to break out as money starts to flow in here. So that's rotation. And if you need a better visual, if we look at energy, bam, this move right here made a big move up, right? Big move up. And if you go to, what was the date? Sockets, right? February, right? If you look in semiconductors, in February, consolidated. But in energy, oil stocks, it was on a big move up. It's on a big move up. And as it's made this big move, it needs to cool off. So it started consolidating. And when this starts to consolidate, big money has to constantly trade. So they're looking for the next stock. So it's rotating into here. You get me? It's rotating into here. And that's where we get this big move off this big base that it created. But that's basically rotation explained in my words. Somebody can probably explain it better on a different YouTube video, or somebody comments could probably explain it better than me. Um, that was a try to keep it simple. If you're new, and you are just here to learn, then yeah, try to keep it simple. We're all in the same boat here. I'm not consistently profitable yet. So we're all in the same boat. Um, Red sector, right? Let's say you have a sector and It's one stock in there that's green. Track that stock because when money starts to flow back into that sector, that stock may be a future potential, maybe a potential TML. If you don't know what a TML is, true market leader. Maybe a potential true market leader because while the sector is down, the stock is up. Don't trade it though. Just track it and watch it. Not like consistently just watch it, but watch it because when money starts to flow back into that sector, when money starts to flow back into that sector, then that may be one of the stocks that explode. And you want to be in them type of moves. Sector and themes, sector slash theme strength. Sectors are more important. I mean, themes are more important than sectors, based on what I've learned and what I've been taught, because themes make bigger moves than sectors. If you want to know why, let me know in the comments and I'll go find out because I slick forgot. But it's one of those things that but you know the meaning, but it may slip in and out of your mind. And in this case, it slipped out of my mind. But like I have it, bulleted right here. Look for sectors slash themes where multiple stocks are moving in the same direction. And why that is important is because momentum. I'm a momentum trader. So if the sector is red and one stock is green, it's going up like what we previously talked about. The whole sector doesn't have any momentum, right? And it may not be an explosive move like a stock where the whole sector is moving in one direction, getting ready to break out, right? Because once the whole sector is breaking out, it's a way larger move, way huge move, big move, right? And I got bulleted here. If the sector slash theme, if the sector slash theme is set up to go higher, when it does break out, the moment, yeah, like I said, the sector or theme is set up to go higher, then when it breaks out, the momentum will be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But to see if a sector is setting up, look at the ETF because a good. Okay, yep. That's another thing too. I had to, but to give you a visual. Let's say, let's go to what's an ETF that's setting up that might be set up to go higher. What is this? Biotech. Okay, biotech is up right now. Let me use it. I'm just gonna use the tech ETF. As you can see, it's building a base. It's building a base right now. Building a base. Okay, so 9 times out of 10, the whole tech sector is in a base building type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? And even if you look at QQQ, it's building a base. Because if you look at the weekly, I guess the EMA's got to catch up, right? But it's building a base right here. Man, building a base. And if we go to theme and sectors, right? And we try to find what would be a tech stock right here. Data centers, building bases. If we go to a stronger text, a stronger tech sector, you'll see it more clearer. Let me see. Where's okay, like here. Make this big move, just like I don't just like the ETF. And if you don't know what that looks like, this as the semiconductors ETF and tech ETF are seem pretty similar, but you can see right here that the the tech the SMH ETF is setting up as well, kind of. Yeah, it's setting up as well. It's kind of loose though, like it's kind of everywhere though, so it's kind of messy. But you can see here setting up. I wouldn't probably wouldn't get in this one right now, but like I said, you see it setting up. Nvidia's pulling back hard. Marvel is setting up nicely. Marvel is setting up nicely. Yeah, Marvel is setting up nicely, and it's off the 21 EMA. Let me check the weekly. Yeah, hasn't even touched the 8 EMA on the weekly. But yeah, check the sector, and I'm gonna get to that when we get to this full scan. Check the sector before you go to the individual stocks, because you don't want to be trading garbage. Right. So now let's talk about top-down analysis, the full scan. The full scan. Okay. You want to start on the higher time frames. Now, state this again. I am a swing trader, not a day trader. I guess it starts off as a day trade, holds to a swing trade, but I'm a swing trader. I'm not a day trader. I'm not a scalper. I guess I'll hold stock. I guess I can hold stocks for like a year. Like I guess I can hold stocks for a long time, do leaps and stuff. But that's not my main focus right now. My main focus is just mastering swing trading, right? So yeah, I just want to clarify that before we get started. If we do a top-down analysis, full scan, we're going on all of these. We're gonna start from monthly to the weekly to the daily, right? From what I've been taught, you want to scan and analyze the macro ETFs, which are also just the indexes, right? Also just the indexes. SPY, QQQ, Dow Jones, which is DIA, and Russell 2000, which is IWM, and the VIX. What the VIX is, from what I've been taught, is like a danger meter. If the VIX is low, then if the VIX is low, then the market is like more likely to spend, if that makes sense. So let's say a tech stock, for example. Tech stock would be more prone to an explosive breakout if the VIX is low. And let's say the VIX at 19 right now. How I view it right here, you can't see it, but I have it written down to where it says anything 15 and below, or really should change it, but about 15 and below, be aggressive. Anything above 15 but below 20, kind of be conservative. Still be aggressive, but be conservative. But anything above 20, dang, it was at 20 a few days ago, but anything above 20, like up here when oil, Where's February? Yeah, when oil was starting to just break out, man, it would either you don't trade or trade small. You know what I'm saying? Be responsible with your trading when it's above 20. So just to repeat myself, about I would say about 16 and below. Well, we could say 15, but about 15 and below, be aggressive. Above 15 but below 20 can still be aggressive but be more conservative. You know what I'm saying? Above 20, don't trade or trade small. And that doesn't mean you can't make big money while it's above 20 because, like I said, defensive stocks. But yeah, and also when you're scanning the index, get an idea of what the index are doing, right? Like, is it pulling back? Is it setting up for a base? Is it getting ready to break out? Is it getting ready to make a strong move up? Is it getting ready to to fall? Like, get an idea of what the index are doing. Um, Another thing, okay. Number two, scan and analyze the sectors. Scan and analyze the sectors, right? Which are these ETFs. You got the tech. Like I said, you start on monthly. Monthly is just like this. Like for monthly to daily doesn't take long. So monthly, okay, cool. Weekly, okay, setting up for a base. Daily is setting up for a base, right? I mainly focus on, to be honest, I mainly focus on weekly and daily, but you don't have to do monthly for all of them. But I mainly focus on weekly and daily. So if you want to add monthly, I do sometimes. Then add it. You know, no difference. But yeah, scan the ETFs and see if you see a setup. What is it? Or see if you see a setup. See what doesn't have a setup. See what's trending, etc. Right? Same thing. Get an idea of what the sector is doing, and compare the sector to the index. Like whatever its index is. Let's just say industrial. Look at it. If you could do this, then you could do it that way. Compare them. Okay. For this example, we can say that it's gapped up, pulling back a little bit, but this is probably looking to continue to go higher as QQQ rotation, big money is rotating out of it and probably going into more defensive stocks like healthcare. Um, yeah, healthcare. My mind went blank. Industrials, things like that. All right. Scan and analyze the themes in individual stocks. I feel a little tired all of a sudden. Anyways, scan and analyze the themes and individual stocks. So, let me plug this up. My bad. Don't keep it raw and authentic. Scan and analyze the themes in individual stocks. Once you have scanned these stocks and themes in a watch list, what did I write down? Once you have scanned sectors, go into themes, right? Yeah. Once you have scanned the sectors, go into themes watch list and scan through a watch list to see what themes are setting up while also keeping the strong sector in mind. So what I mean by that is, let's say I think industrial is setting up, right? I would go to, I don't know why I'm title. Listen, I would go to industrial. See what's some industrial. Where's industrial at? Just it right here. Okay. Let's say first, let's go back to one tab. Let's say UPS is setting up, right? What would be a better one? Okay. Let's say cat is pulling back, right? I compare it to the industrial. See what it's doing. Look at the weekly. Can't look at the monthly. Like I said, I mean look at the weekly and daily. But look at the weekly. The weekly here. Okay. Big move up. EMA probably need to catch up a little bit. So this could be due for a big move. Right? And it's had the and this move right here was the highest volume in the quarter. So could be a strong move right there as it starts to break out with industrials. All right. And also for the individual stocks, to find key market leaders, compare them to the sector and the market. So in this case, you would compare CAT to the XLE ETF and to the Dow Jones DIA, you know what I'm saying, which is also ETF, but it's an index. You would compare it to that to see if it's a key market leader, right? So see if I'm missing anything. Oh yeah, and as you're scanning, add these stocks to a watch list, right? So like right here, I'll probably keep like this will be an example. I need to update this because probably some of these aren't even, yeah, just setting up. This look a nice setup, kind of. A lot of fake outs, but anyways, yeah, add them to a watch list for later review. And just so, and I know I had problems with this, understanding the difference between screening and scanning, right? Scanning is when you scan through your watch list, like this, like what we were previously just doing. You're scanning through your watch list. Screening is something like using FinViz or a trading view screener, right? I mainly use FinViz. I also use TradingView to like just in case I may have missed something, you know. But number four, use FinViz or TradingView to scan for stocks according to the sectors and themes with relative strength, or to the leading sectors and themes. Or I will not say leading, we'll just say, yeah, leading or according to sectors and themes that are up on the month. My bad. Or the sectors and themes that are up on the month. While you're scanning at these individual stocks, screening, screening. Add these individual stocks to a watch list for later review, right? And wait, I put that on the wrong area? Told you I'm getting tired for some reason. Put it in the wrong area. But yeah, add these stocks to a watch list for later review. Now we're on the stock reviews. Go through each stock, clarifying each setup and sort them in the correct columns in a watch list. What I mean by that is, if we go to this active setup watch list, matter of fact, let's go here. If I were to look at a stock like, these are all, I need to clear this, but let me see. Okay, let's say this stock right here, PENG, right? I would add this. Oh, it's already in there. To my active setup and trades watch list, and I will put it in as there. It needs more time because the stock needs more time to set up. If we look on the weekly, probably needs to touch because after this big move, it probably needs to touch this weekly EMA, and yeah, it'll probably be ready then. Probably in the next few days, to be honest. Probably in the next few days it could break out, to be honest. But it has earnings next week. It has earnings next week. But I didn't want to make, I don't know how long this video is. I didn't want to make this video too long. That's why I didn't like do a full scan. Like I just explained the process. I didn't want to make this video too long. It's probably long right now, to be honest, because it's 2:11. It's 2:11, and I think I started recording at like 1:50. So damn, it's probably yeah. But yeah, man, that's about it. You know, like I said, gonna be uploading more, just documenting my videos. I mean, my progress. Uh, yeah, man, a few things. Always have faith in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Have faith in Christ because without Him, man, without His help and it being His will, then you'll never succeed as a as a trader. You know what I'm saying? Um, Without it being His will, you won't ever succeed as a trader. So have faith in Him, thank Him, and man, have discipline today so you have freedom tomorrow. But that should wrap up this video for today. Yeah, man.